ignore that. We're just got so much to do today, okay? Ignore that the sign is not correct. Hi, baby. Someone's tummy is upset. So, for today's video, highly requested, y'all wanted to know my thoughts on Bring Her Back, released this year. I had really high, expectations for this movie, guys, and that's something that I don't normally do. Trying not to build myself up, But Talk to Me was really good. I did really appreciate that movie. This one, I don't know if it was just bad timing. I did watch it literally right after my father passed, so that was weird. But I just don't know if the buildup equaled the payoff, if that makes any sense. And for me, the film just feels redundant, but I don't think that that's a valid critique. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think that's a valid critique because it's the art of the directors. So whatever they put forward is valid. It did not resonate with me. It didn't resonate with me. But we'll get into it. Now, spoiler alert, duh. We're going to break down the movie. But I just don't think, all there really was for me was that scene. Okay, you know which one. Highly doubt I'll even be able to show parts of it in here. That was so strong, so sudden, so alarming. And then the rest of the movie was just I really felt more for the girl's character and obviously what the boy was going through as well. It just felt like such a odd movie. I don't know why. I can't necessarily pinpoint why this did not land for me, because by all intents and purposes, it should have. I just don't know why. And fair, I have only watched it once. This is me going off of one impression. So maybe I'll get to it again eventually. I don't know. This one did not resonate with me. But all that aside, diving on in, we're still going to talk about it. I think every movie is worth talking about. Directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. Still don't know how to pronounce that. Same brothers as the ones that did Talk to Me. I think they've done other ones, but I think this is their second directorial debut, something. Written by them as well. Written by Danny Philippou, and Bill Hinsman. Distributed by Stage 6 Films through Sony Pictures Releasing International. The budget was $15 million, and a box office took in about $23 million. It's a bit of a hit. Although I heard a lot of hype around this movie, so to see it not necessarily do that well in numbers-wise that is a little surprising. A brother and sister witness a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. Sally Hawkins plays Laura. Now, I do love the character of Laura. Sorry to say it. I know she's a terrible person, but I do kind of really love her character. Sarah Wong is Piper. Sarah Wong also, great representation to have. Billy Barrett plays Andy. Jonah Wren Phillips is Oliver/Connor. Great actor. Also, disclaimer, this is a bit of a newer movie, and this is a long synopsis. I don't know if I'm going to have clips for everything, but I will try my best. After finding their father dead in the shower, 17-year-old Andy and his blind younger stepsister, Piper, are sent to live with Laura, an eccentric former counselor who also fosters a mute boy named Oliver. Now, to be fair, the whole setup with Laura seems very ideal at first. I know, her quirkiness is a little off-putting. Duh. She's keeping her daughter's body in a freezer. But, she seems fun, right? I fear that if I were placed in the middle of a horror story and there's just a even moderately well-dressed, funny lady, I'm done. I'm done. Years ago, Laura's daughter, Kathy, who was also blind, drowned in the backyard pool. Andy becomes unsettled by Laura's behavior, her favoritism towards Piper, and Oliver's strange demeanor. He informs his social worker, Wendy, as well as Laura, of his intent to apply for Piper's guardianship when he turns 18. I also really do love the brother-sister relationship that is there. You can tell that like there's some distance because they don't share a mother, but he is so protective of his sister. I just love to see it. I love to see it, but he doesn't baby her at the same time. And she even reasserts her own abilities, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Independence, I guess, like how she doesn't have to rely on him and everyone else around her. Laura begins subtly undermining Andy's mental state, suggesting he is unfit to care for his sister. At their father's funeral, Laura steals a lock of hair from the body and later tells Andy that some believe the soul lingers in a corpse after death. That night, Andy shares that their father was abusive toward him, but affectionate toward Piper, causing Andy to resent him. Mind you, just watched this after my father died. Terrible timing on my part, but I was like, let me just sit down, watch a movie, like, kind of decompress a bit. Wrong movie. Wrong movie. Laura reflects Kathy's death, saying she would give anything to hear Kathy call her mum again. The next day, Andy attempts to bond with Oliver by offering him cantaloupe, but Oliver starts chewing on the knife Andy used to cut it. Hey! It takes a lot to make me cringe, okay? It takes a freaking lot. That was so unnecessary. In the best way possible. I mean that. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. The child self-mutilation that we see in the movies that these brothers do is always so barbaric and gruesome and just terrible to watch. I mean, you think back to Talk to Me and the little brother slamming his face into the desk and shit. Like, oh, it's a very graphic movie, so heads up, warning there. When Andy tries to carry him across Laura's circle property line to get help, Oliver begins to convulse and scream. Laura arrives, takes Oliver to her room, and calms him by rubbing his head in a circular motion. He reluctantly returns to his mute state. Laura then feeds him the lock of Andy's father's hair. That night, Andy attempts to shower but is interrupted by Oliver, whom he hallucinates as his father's apparition, which warns him she'll die in the rain. In his shock, Andy slips and is concussed. Also, direct callback to his father, how he passed. The ritual part of it, I don't know, it feels connected in some bigger, cinematic universe in some way, much like Talk to Me does, right? It feels like there's some bigger picture to it all. And that's very much how this kind of ritual with her and Oliver feels. You don't really know, the impact of it, or for a while, you don't even know if it really even works. You think maybe the kid's just severely brainwashed. I think there is some reality to it and some placebo kind of effect to it. But again, it feels like one of those things that would need to be explained in another movie, or if the brothers are building this cinematic universe of grief, possession, overpowering people, maybe it'll all play into it. Laura takes Piper to a padlocked shed where Kathy's corpse is stored in a freezer. Now, of course, having her blind, she can't see the dead girl right in front of her. Honestly, good on her. It is revealed that Oliver is possessed by a demon called Tari, which Laura summoned through an amateur occult resurrection ritual learned from a VHS tape. I kind of loved that, I'm not gonna lie. Loved the fact that she got it from a VHS, Jesus Christ. But you see how that could lead into a bigger universe kind of thing? The corpse of the person to be resurrected is fed to a possessed host, who then regurgitates the corpse and its lingering soul into the newly dead body of a person killed in the same manner as the one to be resurrected. Laura intends to drown Piper in the pool during a rainstorm to mimic Kathy's death and use Oliver as a vessel to complete the ritual, but is still awaiting the perfect moment, though Tari is growing increasingly restless. Now, I wonder if there's any validity behind the Tari legend or anything like that. You know how Payman from Hereditary is a real demon, and that's the actual resurrection ritual for summoning him, is decapitating a matriarchy. Upon Andy's return, Laura sprays herself with his cologne and punches Piper while she sleeps, blaming the assault on Andy. Crazy. You go from enjoying her to feeling really bad for her to absolutely despising her rather quickly. I will say that. Piper is unsure until she notices the scent. Laura accuses Andy of being abusive like their father, provoking an outburst. Andy leaves, and Laura takes Piper to goalball practice so that she will be out of the house while Laura sets up for the ritual. As Tari's hunger escalates, Oliver trashes the house, bites Laura, and consumes inanimate objects and parts of himself. Meanwhile, Andy visits the foster agency and learns that Oliver is actually a missing child named Connor Bird, and that Laura's background was never vetted. He convinces Wendy to investigate, and he phones Piper, leaving a voicemail in which he warns her about Laura and reveals the truth about their father. Laura intercepts the message and cleans the house, allowing her to deceive Wendy during the visit until Wendy notices Laura's bleeding arm. Upon questioning, Laura hysterically claims she can resurrect Kathy. Wendy and Andy then discover Oliver eating Kathy's corpse. They attempt to escape, but Laura runs them over with her car. Crazy scene. I'm just going to be honest with you. Crazy freaking scene. I couldn't help but almost chuckle a little bit. It's not funny, but it kind of is. Wendy dies upon impact, and a severely injured Andy is then drowned by Laura in a rain puddle. Laura retrieves Piper and brings her home. Having eaten some of Andy's flesh, Connor now speaks with Andy's voice to lure Piper. It gets crazy. It does, but I still feel like the payoff was meh. She follows the voice and touches his face, but is stopped by Laura. Suspicious, Piper locks herself in the bathroom and finds Andy's body. Laura breaks in, explains the ritual to Piper, and drags her to the pool. Piper screams, "Mom," causing Laura to hesitate and release her. Piper escapes into the road and is rescued by a passing couple. Connor makes it past the circle and collapses as Tari leaves his body. While police arrive to identify him, Laura, now despondent, carries Kathy's partially consumed corpse into the pool and cradles it as officers surround her. That ending really did make me sad. Almost makes you feel bad, almost I hate when I feel bad for a villain, but it kind of just brings it full circle. It was all for that and all for her daughter, really is how it seems and just that longing, that grief that eats away at you. It's a heavy heavy ending. Redistributing that grief almost made her such a monster. And I don't know how this movie is trying to make you feel about her character, because she's terrible, but at the same time you fully understand her motive. I mean, I was glad, I guess, to see that Piper gets away, but it's sad. She lost her father, she lost her brother. They probably talked about what happened with her mom. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good movie, you guys. I don't want to knock it. I just don't know why it's not, once again, resonating with me. I don't have an issue with the plot. I don't really have an issue with the characters. I don't have an issue with anything. I thought even the pacing of the film was really good. Like I said, maybe right movie, wrong time kind of thing. I should give it another chance. I don't know, on initial watch, it did not drive the hammer home, I guess. And like that knife scene, just so shocking that it didn't feel like it led to enough, you know? I don't know, but maybe that's just me as like a spoiled movie watcher that like, oh, there needs to be a huge payoff for these horrific events. Maybe valid. I don't know though. But I want to hear your thoughts, guys. I know this was a requested one. Some of y'all really wanted to hear my opinions on it. Again, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a really good movie where a lot of thought and effort was put in, much like Talk to Me. It just didn't speak to me the same way that Talk to Me did. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, though, guys. Like and subscribe, all of that. I'm not sure really what videos are posting when, all this and that. It's just kind of all over the place. But hope you're enjoying whatever is posting. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support. Really do appreciate y'all. And with that, we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.